Assalamu alaikum everyone. Welcome back to Dogecoin update today. And Dogecoin has, made its statement very, very clearly. And we previously talked about, bearish divergences and the fact that you could actually break above 0.48 cents. And if you do that, then this could actually be very, very bullish to continue all the way up to even $1.2. Now, at least for now, for short term, time frame, you might not really get up to 1.4 $1.2 whatever. And then it started to correct to the downside, and to be more precise, we had this pattern here. We had the trend line, and the trend line showed that Dodge had a moving trend line, and then you broke to the downside, you went up again, you made retest, and then you go rejected, and then you fall down to that technical target at the lowest part of the triangle, and you even fall a little bit way more to the downside. Now, one more thing is that this is still not the bottom, unfortunately. And the problem here is I'm going to give you a very solid evidence that you must watch the evidence, because whatever Dodge has done, Bitcoin is pretty much doing the same thing. If you want to know the future, you should come and watch Bitcoin. For example, whatever Dogecoin is printing right here, whatever it actually did, it is the very same thing that Bitcoin is doing. So if we went back in time, if we were back in 10 December, today's 26, and I was going to tell you that Dogecoin has this trend line, and I actually did make a video, if you go back to during those dates on my channel, that yes, you do have the trend line here, and if you break below the trend line, then you're going to be looking at 0.33 cents coming up, okay? It happened, right? It happened because it's simply just a triangle, and this triangle had a pop to the downside after losing support. It went up for the retest, and then it actually went down to retest 0.33, and it actually even fall a little bit lower to 0.26, right? And it was still not done. Why are we still not done? Because of Bitcoin. So if we check Bitcoin, and if now consider Bitcoin as Dogecoin back in 10 December, isn't just Bitcoin doing the same thing where you had that trend line, you have the touch here support, you have the touch support and the touch support, and then you broke the trend line and you have gone back for the retest, and it's just the same thing gearing up to actually fall down to $85,000. Isn't this just the very same thing? The logical evidence right there. Even worse is that you have a CME gap that can actually go a little bit lower, and then you could have Bitcoin at $77,000, right? So when Bitcoin probably reaches 77K, that's when I think a lot of massive buying can actually start to happen. The lowest it can go, I think, is to 69K, which is the previous all-time high support. And then from there, hopefully, we start to get things moving up again in 2025. I think Dogecoin is not done, even regardless of having that correction, one more correction. And by the way, we're also following an elliott wave theory. The last thing I want to talk about is a move to 1. I think this is 2, this is 3, this is 4, and there's like last fifth wave. Wherever this is going to happen, maybe down to 0.22. I think 0.22 could actually be more logical. And then from here, you start off with an A, B, and then the C, and then you start to continue off and make another leg to be upside, hopefully anytime around next year. One more thing before I close the video is that I also have a plan in 2025. So try to be a part of the private for January or Q1. Link is going to be at the end of the video. I have spent my whole week, planning on some solid plan, as 2025 is a year that altcoins can pump hard, because I think, and I've made this video on bull run, right? I have a whole 30 minutes video on a bull run, that alt season are bound to happen in 2025. So before that, the best thing is that I'm going to be planting the seed in boring times, right? So boring time is when we actually do our shopping. You buy when things are not hitting up, a lot of people are walking away. And then as soon as the market starts to recover one more time, and you start to tell people, yeah, we were doing this and that, then they get to understand. You see, when we speak about boring time, the boring times are like this, right? When a lot of things are not going so well, but you know what is going on in here. You're the only one who knows when a lot of people are ignoring these boring times, and look what happens next. So in this boring time, I want to plant the seeds. There will be a little bit of boring time. We're going to see Dogecoin maybe do something like this a little bit. And in that boring time, I'm going to be doing something. I'm going to be having a plan, not only for Doge, but something else, maybe another coin that has a better potential than Dogecoin, hopefully. So that's all for the video on Doge. I'm going to see you the next one, Lafis.